can taste your words. I can taste your.
Welcome to the Easy Answer Podcast. I'm Brandy, plant-based chef.
And I'm Vonanise, plant-based adjacent.
On this podcast, we explore thought-provoking conversations around food
and simple ways to stay healthy in this crazy world.
Hey, Vaughn.
Hey, Brandy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I just came from the Seaport area, and I went with a friend to get some ice cream. She wanted rum raisin. Mm-hmm. So she's like, oh, my God, I've been on a rum raisin kick. And lucky for her, like, she lives right by Fulton Street, so there's like a Haagen-Dazs right across the street, like as soon as you leave the train station. Mm-hmm. So I asked him, like, do you have non-dairy options for those of us who were converted by Brandy? And they were like, yeah, we have this raspberry sherbet. And I was like,
hold on. This was a Haagen-Dazs store.
Yes, they have raspberry sherbet.
Raspberry sherbet.
Yes.
Because I'm going to say that's problematic on many levels, and I'll tell you why. So Haagen-Dazs was one of the first people to market with a non-dairy pint. You understand? They came to the market with 4 flavors that were non-dairy. So for them not to offer at least one ice cream version in the store during a time when plant-based living is all the rage, that's a missed business opportunity for them.
But it wasn't the store, it was like a kiosk. So maybe that's the reason why. No.
I don't know. They're pushing their non-dairy offerings. I don't know. It seems like a missed opportunity, but okay. Got it. So you got some sherbet.
No.
Okay.
I heard a rum raisin, and then like I was there for a couple of hours, and and that's close to the Seaport. Mm-hmm. So when we walked down to the Seaport, there was a Van Leeuwen there, and we know we love them.
But tell people what Van Leeuwen is. There's some people who are like, Van Leeuwen, what's that?
Okay, it's an ice cream shop, but they have, so when you go there, they have one side dairy, one side non-dairy. Mm-hmm. So they have like a lot of cool vegan flavors, you know. Mm-hmm. So I got like a raspberry crumb, which is what I got the last time too.
Nice.
It was so good. Like you could like try it again. You know.
Yeah. Okay, I have to try. You know, I had an experience with Van Leeuwen. First recipe iteration of their non-dairy options. Wasn't too impressed considering I spent $7 a scoop. But I have heard that since then, like they have really gotten better with their recipe, and it's worth giving them another try.
Definitely. And you know another thing, they tell you what's the milk. They tell you if it's like oat milk, coconut milk, cashew milk. They tell you what milk it is that they've used.
That's cool. That's
what Praline's one, but it was sold out, of course.
What was the base? What milk?
It was oat milk based.
That's interesting.
It was so good. OMG.
I love oat milk ice cream.
I mean, and I can't believe that Van Leeuwen, who's a relatively new company, is like running rings around Haagen-Dazs. Really?
Well, you got to remember, Haagen-Dazs has been, when you've been in the game longer, it's harder for you to convert. You understand? Because you
already complacent.
And then remember, Van Leeuwen's also, I don't know about complacent. They did come to I'm taking up for them only because they did.
I don't take up for anyone.
I don't. I will take up for brands and early. A lot of people didn't know this, but Haagen-Dazs was one of the first brands, them and Ben & Jerry's, one of the first brands to bring a non-dairy version of their traditional ice creams to the market. Their first year, Haagen-Dazs had an exclusive deal with Target where they were offering up 4 flavors only at Target of those non-dairy flavors. I read about this because I read about all things non-dairy, plant-based, and I ended up finding these ice creams and was honestly really impressed at how close.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Like, yeah, they got to like
they got the bars that are non-dairy now. And
they're great. So but it's always harder when you've been in business to integrate something new, because remember, you have that brand recognition there. People have something that's a Haagen-Dazs brand, there's a Haagen-Dazs flavor. So if you come to the table with something less, it could potentially like just kill the whole brand. So it takes them a little longer to be able to produce those like new categories into their offering. Whereas a company like Van Leeuwen, which is a little smaller, not as seasoned as
billionaire problems as opposed to millionaire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. They can take a risk. You understand? They can take
Millionaires can take risks that billionaires can't.
a billionaire. You want to keep your billions. You gotta
Yes,
come to market a
you have
little
to do
slow.
it slow, a slow walkout. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah. Mm.
So I was really happy to like, because Vienna One has like a lot of good flavors and stuff, and they had different. They had so many options. Like legit, they had like probably 12 on the dairy side, 12 on the non-dairy side. There was no, there was no shortage of options. Whereas like if I go to a Haagen-Dazs or a Baskin Robbins, you have like they're like, do you have anything that's non-dairy? And it's just like one little one that they have, and I have to like it. Mm-hmm. And if it's like a chocolate-based ice cream, I'm like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people don't like chocolate, but I'll tell you, chocolate is one of the easier ones to convert to plant-based because it's so forgiving, right? Whereas something like vanilla, there's not really a place to hide there. Like chocolate, you can hide behind that cocoa. So it tends to be the first, when people convert, they tend to go chocolate first because it's so easy.
That's what we say about Black people. We're just so great and so easy.
Oh my God. So guys, the reason why we're talking about non-dairy ice cream, well, first off, it's the summertime, right? It's hot. Ice cream tends to be associated with the summer. So 1, 2, we are launching a 30-day non-dairy challenge next month, right? September.
Hello.
Right, in September, we are challenging you all to give up dairy for 30 days. That's it. And we're not going to let you do it alone. We are going to help you through the process. What does that mean? That means that we're going to give you suggestions of different ways that you could swap out dairy products.
Here now. There's so many options.
There really are. Like people now who are complaining about dairy, outside of cheese, I'm still riding for
follow your heart, Gouda.
Yeah.
That we love.
Yes. That is one. Hello. And specifically the sharp cheddars. The sharp cheddars are not there yet. And honestly, all of the vegan cheeses don't have good meltability. We have to be honest about it. They all don't melt well yet. We're very, very young.
Life has a block now, and you can shred it on top, and it melts better.
Nice. Yeah. That, like I said, we continue to evolve.
I mean, they're evolving, and we love them all.
Yes. So what we're going to do over the next couple of episodes is talk to people who are not plant-based, who are interested in or exploring a life of dairy freeness. I don't know if that's a word, but we just coined it on the Easy Answer podcast.
Hashtag dairy freeness. Hashtag dairy freeness.
Okay. So we're going to bring on our first guest in the series, named Andrea, to join us in this conversation. Hey, Andrea, welcome to the Easy Answer podcast.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So tell us, before we get started, tell us who you are.
I'm Andrea. No, I'm just joking. I'm Andrea. I'm realtor, model, and serial entrepreneur. That's me in a nutshell.
All right. Look at that. Cool.
Thank you guys for having me. Nice to see you, Vaughn.
Hello. Why my light just fell? I had to grab it. Boop. It's a home studio here. All right.
It's all good.
We keep it real chill. So, Andrea, we're kicking off a dairy free challenge in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we do know about you is that you're dairy free.
I am. So I'm proud. Dairy free and proud.
Look at that. And how did you get there? Tell us about your journey. Why did you decide to become dairy free? And let's just start with that.
I mean, first off, for me, my journey was one where, as much as I loved cheeses, and I noticed when I was growing up in the Caribbean, I'm from the Caribbean, growing up in the Caribbean, I always drank cow's milk. That's what I drank growing up. It was no problem. I migrated here, and I noticed when I drank cow's milk, I would have, some discomfort, run into the bathroom. And this continued over the years. And I really had to find an option. So once I started introducing like almond milk, it was soy milk. First it was soy milk.
Yeah, it was soy milk first.
Yeah,
yes.
And I loved it. I was like, oh, this is cool. I
really?
can do that. I like soy milk. Girl, listen, it was not anymore. Not anymore because there are too many options available and I've moved on. But I loved it because that was the only thing available at the
Yeah.
time. So I was quite happy with it. And then as they introduced, well, now we've gotten oat milk. But I mean, of course, it was almond. Then it was, of course, coconut milk, something I grew up on. But I mean, I wasn't knocking back coconut milk on my own back home. We would usually use it for cooking purposes, not necessarily to drink. But it was cool. That was another option. Then they would do the almond coconut blend. So I love that as well. So I'm like,
I'm
okay,
a
great.
blender too, so I understand.
Yes, yes. So once they provided those options to me, I'm like, great. I have I have a option for milk. So that was taken care of. But then for many years, I had an issue really trying to find yogurt. Like I was a big yogurt eater. I loved yogurt. My favorite one was Chobani Flips, Chobani. I was all about it. And I knew that wasn't healthier for me, but I loved it, right? That was the thing that was keeping me from going completely, off the rails. I would try different yogurts and so forth. And thankfully to have a great friend like Brandy, she introduced me to a couple, I was like, and then I found, I think about two of them that I'm okay with, that I eat from time to time. Now I'm not having yogurt every day as I did before.
You know who I found the other day? Have you tried So Delicious yogurt?
Yeah, I like that one.
I really like that one.
And you know what's good too? Almond Breeze has one that's like Chobani Flips, where they have the little sides inside of it, like little coconut or little almonds or whatever. If you
really? Okay, I'll try that.
So that one is pretty good. So those are the two that I would gravitate to also. And then there's one called Coco June that Brandy absolutely loves.
OMG, she is like a Coco June advertiser.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And I actually like that one too. I've only tried one flavor.
It has like unusual flavors.
Very unusual, like they're very unique in their mixtures, but I can appreciate it. I can definitely appreciate it. So once I conquered that, and then the only thing left to conquer for me was cheese, because Brandy introduced me to like ice cream. And once I found, I wasn't a heavy ice cream eater when I was having dairy. I really wasn't. But it was nice to find ice cream that was so delicious that I enjoyed just as much or even more than dairy ice cream. And so I'm one of those people that once I get something that I love, I go off the rails. I'm like, well, let me see if I can make it. So, I've done some.
You trying to make non-dairy ice cream in your house?
I did a no-churn non-dairy ice cream and it came out excellent. I actually made my mom a non-dairy rum raisin ice cream. Remember, Brandy? I made my mom a non-dairy, and it came out delicious. They're like, when you
I want that. Like, you need to make one for me.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So these are the steps I took. It was like eliminating one thing at a time, finding a solution for it, and we're back to cheese, right? I heard you guys mention cheese, and I will say to this day, I still have not found a cheese that I love. Like macaroni pie is one of my vices. My mom makes an excellent macaroni pie. My mom's from Barbados. She makes macaroni pie and it's amazing. And I need to find cheeses that I can give her to make me macaroni pie, because her macaroni pie is like nobody else's. None other, I'm telling you. So that is my issue, is trying to find a cheese. But, I just like don't put cheese on things at this point. I'm just like, it's whatever.
But have you tried Veal Life? I like Veal Life cheese.
I tried Veal Life. I tried their mozzarella, and I tried their sharp.
I really like Veal Life. You tried their Parmesan? It really shreds like Parmesan.
Didn't try their Parmesan.
I only tried those
two.
Yeah.
And then also Follow Your Heart Gouda cheese is.
I haven't tried their Gouda, but I tried something else from Follow Your Heart, and I was not impressed.
I thought you liked that pepper jack. You thought it wasn't spicy enough, but you didn't think it wasn't
right. As I said, I liked something from it, but it was pepper jack, right? I liked the pepper jack was cool. It needed some more kick, but I mean, it was okay. I'm still, like I said, I'm still not there with the cheeses. I'm still, more often than none, when I go to the stores, I'm probably not purchasing cheese. I will, if I see, like you said, the Gouda, if I see that, I will purchase it. So
try it. It's so good. I've converted at least 2 people with the Gouda alone.
It's for the Gouda. See, the thing with cheeses is the soft.
I feel like it's easier, right?
Easier to
Yeah.
read. And I guess Parmesan technically would be considered a hard one, but it's also a cheese that we tend to experience in part. Like you know how like you take mozzarella and put it across a whole piece,
Yeah.
so it's really dominant. Whereas Parmesan is something that you shred in something and it's just an accent. So it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's close enough. You're like, oh wow, what can I?
Right.
It's the sharp, like you said, Andrea, like to make a macaroni pie, like that's all about the sharp cheddar. It is, and we haven't gotten there yet.
I made a macaroni and cheese the other day, and my mother made hers, like traditional one, and I made mine. So I put like VO Life. They have a block of cheese now that I use to shred inside of it, and then they have the shredded cheese in the bag.
Okay.
And I shredded the cheese inside of it, and then I used a couple of slices of the Follow Your Heart Gouda. And my mother was like, okay, this has the taste, but now it's not thick enough. So then I like tried to put some flour in it, and then I put the shredded cheese on top with breadcrumbs and burnt the daggone top because I put it in the boiler because the cheese didn't melt, you know? And you have to realize that this cheese is not going to melt. Like you just have to like wrap your brain around the fact that it's not going to melt.
Yeah, that's a big issue for me because you really can't have macaroni pie with cheese doesn't melt.
I think
and the cheese adds to that flavor, like it's a burst of flavor, you know. So if my mom makes macaroni pie, I might want to sneak a piece, you know, but I don't want to have that be my situation. I want to be in a situation where I'm not even like, I'm like, oh, here, make this for me, you know, with my cheeses and my things. And then if what I've done with my family is I slowly converted them, you know, with certain things. No, I really did. Because like once I discovered originally with soy milk, so I discovered that, I brought it into the house. I gave her, I'm like, hey, why don't you try this? And she's like, oh, this is not bad. So we started that, and then with almond milk, and now there's no more of regular milk being bought here, except for her carnation milk because you know she has the English in her and she loves her tea, so she has to have carnation milk with her tea. But outside of that, she drinks, you know, almond milk or coconut milk or almond coconut, or even the oat milk, you know. So, but that's what I do. It's like if I find something that works and I know it's gonna be delicious, I introduce it to her and my brother, which he's not non-dairy as well. But that's what you do. You like one by one, introduce it to them. And then once they're like, oh, this is great. Oh yeah, I want them. Like ice cream. Ice cream in the house is non-dairy, except for my mom's rum raisin because she loves rum raisin.
Yes. See, but the hardest thing, I agree with you, is the macaroni and cheese. Like, how I'm going to go through Thanksgiving and not have macaroni and cheese. And these cheeses aren't melting. Like, it's not cheese. Like, I know what you're saying.
You got to play around with that one because you're not.
I said I was going to keep trying the recipe differently.
Yeah, and you're not going to get, I always like to set people up with, you're not going to get like a 1-to-1. It's very, very rare. Like, and especially not at this stage. Like, but where we are today with Coco June, well, yes, we need to reach out to them to sponsor us because I totally.
She's like in love. She's in love.
Listen, if I sponsor you guys, just send some my way. You know, I'll promote them as well on my IG. Like, why not?
They're so
great
freaking
company.
They really do a good job.
No, they do. Even the texture.
Yes,
and it has like depth to it, you know,
that creaminess, that mouthfeel that you're after, especially if you are a Greek yogurt person. But you have to realize how long it took us to get there. Like, remember, look, even when we're talking about soy milks, right? That was the only milk option that was available, right?
It really was, yeah.
And recently we started to explore these random milks. I mean, hazelnut milk, walnut milk, pecan milk, oat milk, what is it? Chia seed. I've seen chia seed milk recently, which I thought was great.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I'll pass.
They have us in a place that we're like I would start to stalk brands that I love, like Coconut Bliss, ice cream bars. I would go to the grocery store, and if they didn't have it, worry the poor people that work in the produce section, like, why don't you have these bars? You know, like, yeah. And it's like, it shouldn't have to be like that. Like, there should be another replacement here, you know?
But you got to remember, guys, these people are running businesses, right? And so if they don't feel like they can sell the product, they're not going to keep
supply and demand,
right?
Yeah.
So that's why it is important. And I'm happy you brought that point up, Vaughn. It's important. People don't realize you can advocate for your lifestyle at your local stores, even at restaurants. Like people don't realize at restaurants, if enough people come into restaurants and say, you know, I want better options. Now I'm not saying you can go to like the Kennedy Fried Chicken and be like, I want y'all to get some, I don't know, I want y'all to get some organic salad.
Escargot. No. There's no escargot with the Kennedy Fried Chicken. That's just
Sure
how
not
it works.
happening.
But then it's not the market for it, boo. All right?
Right.
But you might be able to get them to get you, like, it might not be like an organic green salad, but you might be able to get them to start offering salad with the fried chicken chunks on the top. In the event with the fried chicken chunks. That's what they got in it. and that people are asking for more things. So it is really people, when it's business, is about money. So if you can tell people that they can make money on it, they're going to figure out how to get it to you. I mean, look at Brooklyn or any area in New York City that's been gentrified. How you look at the evolution of bodegas that used to only have, you know what, like quarter juices, bottled water, maybe like
the quarter water.
Right, the quarter waters in the rolls. And now they got fresh juices in there. They got wheat bread when you get your sandwich and all of that kind of stuff. But that's
They have
because
options.
supply
Yes.
and demand, right? People are asking for it. So
That's the good side of capitalism, you know, that businesses do pay attention. But I think that when it comes to being dairy free, when it comes to exploring it yourself, like Andrea said, you have to be able to wrap your brain around a world without the stuff that you love. And you're like, how can I not have my macaroni pie? And for me, that's mac and cheese. Like, I have to wrap my brain around that, you know? Like, and for some people, it's just too hard. All they think about is the things that they're not going to have, the things that they're going to deprive themselves of, you know? They don't think about the things that, how their life's going to be better, how you're not going to be randomly farting for no reason.
But I also think that the thing that people should do when they're trying to, you know, join the bandwagon or whatever, or just become into your body, I think start researching and trying different things early. That's what I did. Like, it wasn't just like, I'm gonna do this cold turkey. Like, no, I literally was like, okay, I need to find a solution for milk. I did. Boom. That was one thing. Then it was like, on to the next thing that I love. On to the next thing. You know, I feel like you need to do it gradually, because everything has dairy in it, and it's so ridiculous. Everything has milk. Like, I did a month of no sugar. And the fact that I'm free, I generally check bags, check packaging, check to see what the ingredients are. And so many potato chips have milk in them. It's ridiculous. Why do chips have milk in them? You know,
Why are there
barbecue chips? Well, it's because of the casein. They want us to stay addicted. So there's a triad in food production: sugar, salt, fat. If you can get those all into things, it keeps people to continue to come back. And milk actually has all three naturally. Sugar, has the sweetness from the pasteurization, salt from the preservation that they do it, and then fat because it's milk. So it shows up randomly in processed foods just because it adds to that addictiveness of that product.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see,
And I would say for me, throughout this process of no sugar, process of no dairy, it's made me more aware of what I'm putting into my system, because by checking my packaging, you know, and the ingredients specifically, realize, oh well, wow, I'm not eating that anymore, not having that anymore. And it's a laundry of things that I'm no longer going to include in my day. And then some that I keep, like sweet and salty popcorn, I'm going to keep that because it's not that whole. I mean, there are certain things that I'm definitely not going to have anymore. Certain that's posed as organic or non-dairy, and when you pick up the bag, there's milk in it at the bottom. You know, and if you don't pay attention, you just buy. The gradual process is what's best. That's just my advice.
But I think that for a lot of people, like we said, you know, people don't want to take things off of their plate, because then they think like, I'm not going to be able to go out and enjoy time with my friends. I'm always going to be worried about what I'm going to eat. You know?
Well, somebody in the pack though needs not to get gout, right? So if you can commit to
That
being
gout, not the gout.
that's the thing, right? So somebody's gotta have a foot.
I mean, I feel like people, not everyone, but a lot of people just always want to fit in. Like this, why? So what? You know, you don't have to do everything everyone does. You know, you have your own. Like I've been non-dairy, you know, and I haven't eaten meat in non-dairy probably 3 years, I think, maybe longer. I'm not even sure anymore. And but eating meat, I haven't eaten meat in almost 19, 20 years. That's all. And that was before it became a thing. Like it's a thing now. It wasn't a thing when I did it. You know, I just feel like, so what? I don't care. But that's me though, right? I don't care if people don't eat this and don't eat that. I'm just like, hey, I don't want it. I'm not having it. I don't eat it. The end. I went to an event the other day, last weekend. They had nothing for me to eat. There was ribs, there was this, there was chicken. I mean, everything. There was rasta pasta. There was macaroni pie. I had nothing to eat. But it didn't bother me, because am I going to go eat those things that I haven't eaten in so long? No, I'm not. I'm completely fine with it. And I was like, you know, people probably looking at me like she's sitting at this table without any food, but I didn't get up. I just sat there, enjoyed the music, and kept it moving.
Yeah, and it's like you must have a really strong why, because like what Vaughn was saying is that most people don't have that. And I think a mix of some of it is maybe I don't want to be out on an island by myself because, like, I don't know, everybody else is going to let me do it. And then some of it is really deep rooted. Like, as far as like food has a lot of emotional association.
Yes.
Your mom has this amazing, macaroni pie. Even what you said earlier, your mom she's dairy free except for that carnation milk, because it's so rooted in her culture.
It really
right?
is. She's not gonna have her tea, and it has to be, Lipton tea. She's not gonna have that without that carnation milk. Not happening.
So
Not happening. They'll laugh at me because I'm not having it. Like, you don't want some? I'm like, no, I don't want any. I'm good. They make jokes, but I'm fine with it. Because at the end of the day, this is my choice. Like, we're all in charge of our bodies and what we decide is best for us. So if you want to make a different choice, that's fine. I respect your choice. But disrespect mine. And for me, one of the main reasons why I needed to go non-dairy was because I had a near-death experience, and I found out I had fibroids, and mine was definitely, had me on the lowest of the totem pole. You know what I mean? And I know that dairy, fibroids love dairy, right? They'll feed off of that and grow and get bigger. And so for me, I need that to be my reality. So for me, that alone in itself is a no for me, because the fibroids are taking all the lovely nutrients in my body and starving me of the iron that I need. So that's enough of a why for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's enough of a why for me.
Well,
to me, it's like it can't be that serious.
No, not for no cheese. And I love me some food. Y'all know I love me some food, but I ain't dying for no food. What's that called? So thanks, Andrea. I want to thank you for sharing.
Thank you guys for both having me. I appreciate it.
Charity with us.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and Vaughn, any final words before we close out?
What I would say is that in the beginning, it's not easy to go dairy free. But I think that if you decide that it's something that you want to do, you will realize that, you will feel healthier, and it's sort of like everything your body starts to feel different. Don't you think so?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's important. It's about being healthy. All right.
Nice. Cool, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning into an episode of the Easy Answer podcast, where we have thought-provoking conversations about food and share simple ways for you to stay healthy in this crazy world. Now, again, we are starting a non-dairy challenge, 30-day non-dairy challenge. So stay tuned for details about those coming soon, how you can join, and how we can help you give up the dairy. Alrighty,
And
guys.
subscribe to hear our shows that come up weekly.
Yes. Subscribe. Yes. Keep me on topic. So subscribe. You get notifications. We do episodes every week. Oh, and we haven't even announced. We should announce this, right? We actually are going to be on the what is it? We're playing on Manhattan cable.
Manhattan Network News.
Yeah. So,
If you subscribe and give us your email, we can send you. We're going to start to set out a monthly newsletter.
Yeah. So subscribe, leave your email in the comment, or just email the Easy Answer podcast at gmail.com. All right, guys. Until next time, keep it easy. Take care of yourself.
Bye.